In this video, we are going to see how to elaborate analysis the collaborations from the data that we have downloaded from Scopus. And since we have using a Sciencescapes, what we can do is to import the GEX file that we have generated, right? And here what we are going to choose is as an undirected graph, and this is the result. So here we just see by now a single node, right? So to make it wider, so we press the zoom right, and we have an overview which was very similar to the picture that we have in Sciencescapes, right? So here this is the main node. It's expected that this should be Albert Einstein, right? And this will be a subgroup of people that has mainly collaborated here between them. We also see some other subgroups of nodes that we have, and we're going to start to compute some measures. So what we have here in the degree distribution is that there are a few nodes or that have low degrees, right, and the higher one with degree 37 here in that case. So this would be in this case, so Einstein, right? So this will be the connection that he has with the co-authors, right? If we want to see this, we press to the labels, we put them in the nodes, so we can see more accurately how this is Albert Einstein with A. Einstein, right? We can make it with the scroll, we can make it closer, right, or a little far away, right, until we have a good view of all the results. So we are going to prove some layouts, right, and we are going to take 4 salads. So in the beginning what we have is that everything is collapsed. So if we augment the scaling, what we have is nodes started to separate. We increase this a little more until 300. We see how they are started to separate it. So probably we arrive to 1000, right? And we are going to make it closer, and we have a good view. So here what we can see is that the different groups of co-authors that we have, in the groups that many people are all together, is that maybe he has participated in a joint paper with all these authors, right? There should be other groups that we can compute here. So this will probably be another paper that has been commonly authored with Albert Einstein, because we have a collaboration network within the rest of the authors. But we have 2 collaborations, or a collaboration with Schrödinger and Sher Marvin, and later we have another subgroup of collaborators, right? If we want, we can try to make smaller the typeface, right? We make it wider, and we can have a more clear view about which are the co-authors. If we want, we can press on the node, and we can move it and separate them with the mouse, right? And to make the representation, to change it a little, but in order to have a better overview about what is the result here. Okay. So the other options that we can do is to compute the modularity. The modularity will probably coincide with the subgroups that we have identified. We see 3 classes, 0, 1, and 2, right? And if we color the nodes by the modularity class, right, as we are doing here, right? So we have these 3 colors, and they are the communities. So on the one hand, we have the ones in green, the ones in purple, and the other in orange, that are in fact authors that have appeared in just a few papers with Einstein. Also, we have the 2 big groups of joint collaboration, and we can clearly identify what we have guessed at the beginning, just looking about the structure that we have from the nodes, right? Apart from this, we can try to incorporate another data and other measures in order to make a better representation and a better explanation about what are the content that we have in this collaboration network. So what we can appreciate now is that Einstein is in the middle, right? And we can change the representation here with other measures. So for instance, we are going to see the role of the node. So we may compute the page rank. So looking at the results of the page rank, what we see is that many of them have lower values, and the one that has higher value, it's expected that this would be Albert Einstein, right? This would be we have some values that are repeated many times, so probably they would be the co-authors of the two big co-author papers, and the ones that have lower value, there would be these ones, Schrödinger, Schermabin, and the others that we have. These two groups of 8 and 9, there could be probably this group here, right? And the others are values that are repeated many times. So what we can try to do now is to color or to represent this by the page rank value. The page rank values can be also seen in the data table here, right? And we can order by the number of times. Here we can see the occurrences count in the number of papers, but this needn't to coincide with the degree, because as we have seen, Einstein didn't have 102 co-authors. He wrote many papers alone, right? This in total we have well, this is the, we can appreciate here that these are the degree 37 of the co-authors, and this was his page rank, and is in the same class of modularity as other co-authors here. Okay. Also, we can return to the general view, right? And in this general view, what we can try to do is to see or to represent the size, right, according to what we have computed before about the page rank here, or the number of papers that have been cited. In this case, the difference is very hugely or very considered, because what we have seen is that the, there's well, here we can scale from the maximum to the minimum. In the previous case we have 1460, which were very similar, but here we can appreciate which author is far more cited than the others. With 10 is smaller, maybe they can just have some sites, right? And the bigger one with 40 is Einstein that accumulates all the citations. But also these papers were highly cited, and we can check this if we return to the data table here.